Reverend Sister, it's a great privilege for me to welcome to the school, to the Abbey, to welcome Fergal Martin to speak to us about the new publication of the Catechism of the Catholic Church. Just before I actually ask him to speak, just to put Mr. Martin in the picture for you, Fergal Martin is the General Secretary of the Catholic Truth Society and has been for the last 20 years. And if you think over the last few years what the CTS have given to us, it really is quite stupendous. Not only the publication of the Catechism, about which Mr. Martin will speak, but also over the last few years the beautiful copy of the new translation of the Roman Missal has come to us via the CTS, as has, if I'm right in saying, the new translation of the Rite of Marriage and the Rite of Confirmation, yes, which have only just come into force only over the last few weeks. Mr. Martin was, just to give you some background, was trained in the law. So he studied at University College Cardiff and then University College in London, and subsequently at the Inns of Court School of Law in London, and trained as a barrister. So I must be careful what I say, so as not to say anything that's incorrect. We are very privileged to have him come to speak about this new publication of the Catechism, because it means so much to us. It lies at the very core of the school's work, of the School of the Annunciation, and describes for us, handed to us from our bishops and the Holy Father, the faith. So to have a new publication is of enormous significance and value to each one of us. That's quite enough from me. Fergal, would you give us some words?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Father Guy, and thank you also for Caroline for inviting me here, and a very, very warm thank you to each and every one of you, because I feel very, very welcome here, together with my wife Carmen, the moment we arrived. We've been really spoilt and looked after. I also thank, in a sense, the Benedictine community also for welcoming us, for Father Abbot. What Father Guy forgot to mention was that I was Benedictine trained at a school, so coming back here in many ways brings back many fond memories for me. So thank you. I'm really delighted to be here, because I know it's the anniversary of the school. It's 2.5, is that right? And I'm delighted to, in a sense, use this occasion to present the new Catechism. In fact, I can safely say that there's one publisher in the English-speaking world today who's got the entire, updated, complete, fully working, properly tagged references, better index, definitive electronic files of the Catechism than anybody else. And keep it always up to date, keep it always as it should be, and not neglected. It can become neglected. Petrock has produced a beautiful little booklet of anybody who, you'd love it, I know, but you probably know it all anyway, but for people who don't quite know how to get into the Catechism, this little booklet guides you into it and convinces you that it really is a book for you. It's not just a book about things, it's a book for you. And it's really a lovely little booklet. I just had a little note here saying it's quite shameless really, because it's a small transfusion of the blood cells of this book into you. And that creates an addiction, you see. Once you get infected by this, you have to buy this.
I grew up with the CTS as a boy. I wasn't at Belmont, I was at Ampleforth. But the monks of Ampleforth gave us a copy of the Simple Prayer Book at the age we were 8 years old, 7, 8 years old. And I have been following and using the booklets of the CTS ever since. I always give a copy of the Simple Prayer Book to anyone I'm preparing to be received into the church, preparing for baptism. I recommend it to my prayer groups in the parish, because it is still, in my humble opinion, the most comprehensive and the best, short, simple prayer book for a Catholic. It's magnificent. this catechism, I feel very, very strongly about it. You have a right to the truth revealed by God. You have a right to hear it. God has revealed himself to the world. And what makes this, the Catechism of the Catholic Church, so beautiful, so crucial for us, is that it is, as St. John Paul said, a sure reference point. If you wish to know what Holy Scripture means, how the Lord has revealed himself, and how he is calling the human person to heaven, here it is laid out for us clearly in the language of today, in a way that we can rely on. And because you have a right to the truth, having a publication of the Catechism that is consistent, that is clearly laid out, that everything has been worked through with meticulous detail, is essential for us. It's vital for us. You've done a service in the CTS, not only just in a little way to the school, but to all of us in the English-speaking world, to have it's not the translation that's better, it's the layout that is clearer. It is that, as you were saying about the meticulous work that's been done on the footnotes and on the references, it is a clearer exposition of what the bishops have offered to us in the Catechism, and it's part of our birthright as being human, is to hear this revelation of the Lord God as it's laid out in the Catechism. Thank you so much from the school, from our students, from so many people who welcome this with enormous joy.
To now present copies of this new edition of the Catechism of the Catholic Church. Firstly, to the Right Reverend Mark O'Toole, Bishop of Plymouth, Chair of the Bishops' Conference Department for Evangelization and Catechesis, and our patron, to present the Bishop with copies of this new edition of the Catechism of the Catholic Church. I'd now like to ask Mr. Ferdinand to present copies of the Catechism to our Abbot, David Charlesworth, Chair of the Trustees. And finally, I would like to ask Mr. Cardinal Martin to present copies of the new edition of the Catechism to our Rector of the School of the Annunciation, Father Guy.